Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Moms Making Money Show. I'm your host, Amie Pederson, business mentor and certified confidence coach for new female entrepreneurs. And I really wanted to talk to you guys about something that I really love talking about, and that is starting out in your business. So there's a lot of things that come up when it's time to think about starting a business. And a lot of those things can sometimes be a little bit scary. So we get fear that creeps in. You know, we've got that whole like, can I do this? Is anybody going to, believe in my mission and in my message? Are they going to actually buy from me or hire me, whether you sell a product or a service? What does that look like? We also have that awful mom shaming where, and this is something I experienced a little bit myself, where people just have an opinion about what moms should or shouldn't be doing. So, you get maybe you shouldn't be going to work every day, or maybe you should stay at home, or maybe you should go to work every day and put your kids in daycare. Or I got from some people though, well, why would you start a business? Your kids are small. You should just stay home with them. You quit your job so you could be at home, which was true. I did leave my corporate job that I really enjoyed to stay home with my kids. But at the end of the day, kind of like my slogan now is that I knew in my heart that, and in my soul, like I could feel it. There was just something in there that was trying to burst out almost. And I know a lot of you guys who have business ideas, you can probably relate to this, that you're meant for more than wiping boogers and folding laundry. And the truth is, there's no shame in that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. The message that you have, the product that you have, the service that you have, whatever it is that you have to provide, whether it's something that you want to do and launch on your own, or you belong to one of the amazing multi-level marketing companies that are out there, there's no shame in that. What you're doing is something that hopefully comes from like a true place of passion and love for that product or service. And that creates a ripple effect. You share it with somebody who gets an amazing result or starts to feel better, or, maybe you're with essential oils or health and fitness, and you start to see that people start to feel better and they start to do better. And then, that ripple keeps rippling on and affecting more people in such a positive way. I guess when you think about it like that, how could anybody possibly say there's something wrong with that? A lot of times it's because, and this is just my opinion, a lot of times it's because they're unfamiliar with it. It's new to them and they can't quite wrap their brains around the concept of somebody earning money while working from home. They've got this whole punch the time clock thing because that's just what they're used to. A lot of people get into a routine that they're just used to, and that's how it goes in their entire life, whether that's for their job, for their life, their relationships, and so on. A lot of people are tolerant of being treated a certain way, even if they don't like it, just because that's what they're used to. It's part of their routine. So a few things, we also have self-doubt. We have that imposter syndrome that sometimes creeps in, that why me? Why would anybody buy from me? There's other people out there who've been doing this for a lot longer. Well, the truth is people trust you. People can tell when you're being truly, genuinely authentic about your passion for something. So one of the things that I always tell my clients is really try to lead with that thing, that little spark, that passionate thing inside of you that you really just can't shut up about. It's the thing that you sit down and you talk to your girlfriends about over coffee or cocktail or whatever, green juice, whatever it is that you enjoy while you're sitting down and talking to your friends. It's the thing that you can tell them that you're so excited about without fear of being judged, without any like emotional connection to them buying from you or not. And when you tell it like this, so think about it like this. When somebody comes in and they're like, ooh, it smells like Christmas in here. It smells amazing. And you're like, oh, those are my new essential oils. And I got them from this multi-level marketing company. And I actually joined because it saved me money when I first bought the kit. And, I've been really using it. I've been doing a ton of research and I've been learning all these things about how they can actually improve your health, and they're non-toxic, and I've been detoxifying my home. And you can start to tell them just off the cuff, completely unscripted, all these things that you've been learning about, the benefits of reducing toxins in your home, not just for yourself, but for your children, for your pets, for the people around you, and how some of these things that you use it for their healing properties as well. Like I take these little beads, or I use this particular essential oil when I'm starting to get a cold. And did you know that if you're starting to get a sore throat, a drop of cinnamon oil in your mouth, obviously you could put it in some water or whatever, will help you heal your sore throat. Those types of things. They're just things that they just come spewing out pretty much. And that's where that magnetism comes in. That's where people, they're like, oh, that's really cool. Well, I'll have what she's having. I call it the I'll have what she's having effect, because that's basically what it is. Obviously, Meg Ryan in that movie coined that term. So it's obviously not an original term for me, but I like to use it because that's ultimately what we're creating. We're creating that, I've got to have it, that feeling, that emotion, like that excitement. So it's really, really kind of cool when you can just tell somebody something and not even think twice about it. That's when that I'll have what she's having effect comes into play. That magnetism, oh yeah, I need this. I need it right now. Sign me up. That's when that comes into play. So leading with that thing that you're just so truly passionate about, it comes so easy when you're passionate about it and when you're confident in speaking about those things. And let's just face it, confidence sells. You're not going to, I use this analogy all the time, like you're not going to go into your hairdresser and say, hey, I want to try this new coloring thing or get these new highlights. And if she tells you, oh, I've never done highlights before, but what the heck, let's give it a try. You're probably going to be like, oh crap, red flag. Maybe not. Right? So, or even you wouldn't go into a plastic surgeon and say, hey, I'm going to need a nose job today, and have him or her tell you, oh, I've never done a nose job before, but it can't be too different from doing a tummy tuck. Let's just give it a try and see how it goes. Hell no, you would never proceed with that procedure, because that's obviously not something that you would feel confident in. However, if you went into a hairdresser and you were like, hey, here's my picture from Pinterest, can you do these kind of highlights? And she's like, oh yeah, so these are called this, and this is the method that I like to use to do that. It takes about this long and it costs about this much. I do these all the time. Here's my lookbook. These are the people who have come in before you. Then you're like, oh yeah, she's got this. She's like a pro at this. Yeah, let's get started. It's kind of like that. And you can replicate that in your own home-based business. You can replicate that in your business that you share online, right? So here's one of the things that I wanted to share. A couple things that I found were really valuable when I got started. Some things that really helped me step into saying what I actually wanted to say and getting out there and not being afraid of what other people were going to think. Because here's the thing. When I first got started, I was afraid. I feared what other people were going to say about me, what they were going to think about me, what they would say behind my back, like, oh, she has this home-based business. And some of that came from the mom shaming and shade that was thrown my way about, one, why would you leave your corporate job? It's an amazing job. To two, why would you start a business when you're staying at home with your kids? And the list goes on and on. I mean, it goes on and on. You should see the looks I get from people when they hear that I'm a home-based business, a work-at-home mom, and I have somebody who comes in and helps me with chores, like a housekeeper. Those looks, oh man. If I could show you those looks through this podcast audio, you'd really get it. They're pretty bad. So some of the things that helped me overcome this was when I joined a mastermind myself. I got in there, not just with a coach, but with a group of other women. A lot of these women were moms, and they got it. They understood where I was coming from. And I understood where they were coming from. It was like we were just like this group of old girlfriends, and some of them are still like my best friends now today. Like we actually got to sit down together in person and have a drink, have a cup of coffee, and really go over just the real life stuff. Like the stuff you don't see in people's Instagram squares, the stuff you don't see in people's Facebook highlight reels. We got to talk about the real stuff. And I got to really see how truly amazing some of these women really were, even beyond what they were putting on Facebook, which was already quite incredible, right? I got to see the true them. I got to give them a squeeze and a hug and really just get to know them. And I realized that I had been craving that in-person connection, because everything's so digital now. We're living in this digital world, and it's amazing that we can connect and we can learn and we can grow a business in a virtual space. But I still love sitting down next to somebody and having that cup of coffee, giving them a hug and greeting them hello and goodbye, and just having that genuine connection and laughter and real ongoing unscripted conversation that isn't from behind a keyboard. So the other cool thing about having, being in a group setting with some of these women was that sometimes I feel like we're too close to our own stuff. So I feel like I could pull somebody's zone of genius out and identify it just from speaking with them. I can tell if they're truly passionate about the product or service that they're promoting, or if they're maybe not. Like one of the things that I've noticed in a lot of my clients is I can tell when they're spot on, or I can tell if maybe they're forcing it and have kind of something else in the back of their mind. And I've been able to help them identify and bring to light what they've actually really been craving and what they've been forcing. But the problem is sometimes we get too close to that ourselves. Sometimes we get too close to our own copy even, that it's like, I can't get the words to come out right. And you just need someone to bounce those off of. Well, the cool thing about it is a lot of times a coach, a mentor, whomever, and a group of peers who get you, who get what you're going through, who you've gotten to know, they can identify that so super fast. They can help you say like, yes, you're so good at this and you don't even see it. Because here's the thing, when it's something that comes so naturally to us that we just can't shut up about it, that's something that we sometimes overlook ourselves. We sometimes don't actually, realize that that's something that people come to us for. That's something that people see us as an expert for already in our field, in our industry, or just in general, just as a human, as a mom, as a friend, as a wife, as a sister, whatever. So being with these people, both in the online space as well as in person, was such a game changer for me. And it gives like this real, you always hear about being empowered and whatever, but it's like an invigorating type of empowerment. And it's so genuine. And, people can say whatever they want from behind a keyboard, and you can just take it how you will. You can interpret that sentence or paragraph however you want to interpret it, depending on your mood that day, depending on if they used capital letters or exclamation points or, this emoji or that emoji. It's kind of loosely interpreted. But when you're like sitting down or you're having a chance to speak to somebody and you hear their voice and you see their face and you see their body language. Body language is so huge. Like it's so easy to really get what they're genuinely trying to get out there when you can read their body language, when you can see how they're sitting. If they're sitting with their posture upright, they're using their hands and their head is tilted up and back and they're excited, or if they're crunched forward a little bit, or if their arms are crossed and you're like, I'm not really getting your vibe. That's so much different than just reading something that's typed out from behind a keyboard. You have no idea what emotion they were putting into that. So one thing that I've started to love doing is hosting VIP weekends and retreats. And I recently hosted some girls down in Cabo. And at first I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so crazy. I'm going to do my first, weekend away, my first VIP weekend, and I'm going to go international. And it turned out to be amazing. We had such an amazing time. There were such amazing women, and they had such amazing goals and businesses and messages to get out there into the world, that we just had so much fun. We got to all hug each other. We got to all laugh together. We got to get some real stuff off our chest together. Like, even sometimes you get going and you need a box of tissues even from time to time. And that's okay, because we're still real humans. I feel like some of that emotion gets kind of suppressed and watered down because we have to show up in a professional way, a certain kind of way. Even when you go to work, people don't want to see you cry, and that's something that's instilled into us. But every once in a while, we've just got to get some of that emotion out, and we've got to say what's really holding us back, what we're really afraid of, what's really weighing on us, so we can have those big breakthroughs in our business, so that we can take those steps forward and overcome. And let me just tell you, having been mom shamed by some people who were, close to me, and people in my family and extended family who had told me, I don't even want to hear about your business. I don't agree with what you're doing, and I don't even want to see it on Facebook. So I just scroll past. Like, that actually hurt my feelings. And I was like, oh man, and had me kind of swirling around with all this self-doubt. Like, should I be doing this? Am I being a bad parent? Am I doing all these things wrong? But the answer really is no, because I'm helping other women grow their businesses, bring income into their homes. The people who had told me some of these mom shaming comments, they didn't know that I was helping a single mom provide food for her family. They didn't know that I was helping other women break through emotional and confidence barriers. They don't know, they don't understand what I do with these women on a regular basis and what that actually means for them and their families. So I had to really take that into consideration and, really finally realize, like, what I'm doing is amazing. There's no shame in the work that I'm doing at all whatsoever. And there's no shame in the example that I'm setting for my children to have a strong mom who does amazing things with amazing women. There's no shame in that. And once I came to that realization and that understanding, I really was finally able to say, you know what? I don't care what other people think anymore, because my message was so much more important than their negative feedback. My message meant so much more to me than their negative feedback. And I use that now to push me forward and know that I can continue to make these ripples. So one of the things that I've done based on what I've experienced and what I've loved doing myself is I've started a mastermind. I've started a 6-month program where I'm giving everybody, all these ladies, I'm giving them all the tools that I wish that I'd had in one space, right? Everything from start to finish, all the mindset work, how to build a funnel, what is a funnel, what platforms I like to use, my templates, all of that stuff, everything from email automation to joint ventures to money mindset and everything in between. We're going to be kicking off pretty soon an amazing portion of the program that's going to be all about sales and using your free Facebook communities to host challenges to monetize those free communities. There's so much good stuff in there, but I like it because it's kind of like, I like to call it the one-stop shopping. And that's kind of what's really neat about being part of a mastermind is most of the time, if you're in, the mastermind for something like that, because there's all different kinds, then you should hopefully have everything you need all bundled up into one place, plus the retreats that go along with that. I'm going to be hosting a retreat at the Four Seasons in San Diego in March, and it's going to be so amazing. And the retreat, it's crazy because the retreat is already sold out. I actually had to stop accepting applications for the retreat because I had to save room for the girls who were part of my mastermind, because that's part of the mastermind is having priority access to that retreat. And I had to stop taking spots for people who were not part of the Recipe for Success, which is the name of my mastermind. And the neat thing about it is I love that you can get feedback from your peers, and I love that you can give feedback to your peers. Like, you could go into the group, and this is what one of my my clients had told me, she goes, I feel like a lot of the women in your mastermind could potentially be my ideal clients. And now don't get me wrong. She wasn't saying that like she was joining this community to get them, like to solicit to them or get them to buy anything. She was coming at it from this really genuine place of, I could ask them, would you pay for this? Is this a price that you think is appropriate for that type of offering? And know that those people who would be her otherwise ideal clients, that they're giving her true, real feedback, whether they're like, that's maybe a little bit too much, more than I would, or, a little more than I would pay, or no, maybe you should raise the price a little bit, or no, that's spot on. I would love to do that. Like, hey, sign me up, and that kind of feedback is so, so useful. It's almost priceless, really. Plus, not to mention, like I said, I have some like genuine besties that I've met and sustained an ongoing friendship with. We're talking about like, where can we get away together for a weekend and just like hang out and like be together, not as, business owners or anything, but just as girlfriends going and having a fun time together. So that's one of the things that I love doing, is finding that thing that you are so passionate about that you basically can't shut up about it. That thing that you talk to your girlfriends about over coffee and cocktails. And even if those are the girlfriends that you find and you meet in masterminds like the Recipe for Success, those are going to be people that you just can get an immediate connection with. And to be honest, there's just not enough of that connection, that real life connection in the world anymore, in my opinion. And, these ladies that I've met, like I said, they're so much more than the pictures you see of them on Facebook, than what you see on Instagram or the pins you follow on Pinterest. They are such amazing, amazing women. And there's so much more to them because, here's the thing. We most of the time hold back who we really are and what we really stand for when we're posting these highlight reels. And when you get to sit across the table from them or sit on the sofa next to them, you get to really see all those in-between spaces on, what they really, really are passionate about, what they really stand for, what they really stand against in the world, in business, in motherhood, in womanhood, all of those things. So one of the things that I think is so important, and this is going to be one of the biggest takeaways for all the ladies who are part of my Recipe for Success program, is they're going to learn to unleash their true selves, all those in between the lines, just real human aspects that are so relatable to so many people, and stop holding back on themselves and on their business and on their message and on their offers, and really just break through and get out there into the world from a place of confidence, from a place of compassion, a place of love, and a place of really, really wanting to have a huge positive ripple effect on the world and the women around them. And that's so, so important to me, to see these women get out there and shine in their message and shine in their offer and their purpose in life. And yeah, they can still wipe boogers and fold laundry. We can do it all. Or they can hire somebody else to fold their laundry. And there's no shame in that. I want them to know that there's no shame in being a mom and being a business owner or being an employee or whatever it is that they want to do, or just, not doing those things and fully being committed to only being a mom and being at home and taking care of all those things. There's no right answer there is no wrong answer for anybody. It's whatever you feel in your soul, whatever you feel called to do, and whatever you feel your actual purpose is. So we're going to actually be opening up applications for the Recipe for Success. I only have 17 spots left at the time of this recording, so I'm taking applications. The reason I take applications is because, one, I want to know you're serious. I want to know that you're doing the work. I want to know that you're getting in there and that it's just a really good fit, that you're ready to actually have that breakthrough. You're ready to unleash yourself and your amazing service, offer, product, your amazing self even out there into the world, and that you're all in. So that's why I'm doing applications, because I want to just make sure that everybody who gets in is the right fit for this particular program, because there is a ton of information. I will post some more information in the show notes if you're interested. And it's a 6-month program. It's a 6-month commitment. There's a ton of education and a ton of resources and modules and lessons that go into this, as well as the in-person VIP days, as well as weekly calls, as well as monthly one-on-one coaching calls, as well as the private Facebook group. There's so much that 6 months was just felt like the right amount of time to give everybody the chance to really get out there, to get started, to get launched, and to really find their path and really find a way that feels good to them, that doesn't feel icky in any way, and get their business out there. Because I feel like if you hold back on your business and you're holding back and watering it down, and maybe not even starting because you're so worried about, being mom shamed, or that self-doubt, or that fear of what other people are going to say or think about you, I feel like it kind of like shuts down a piece of your soul a little bit. And it just, it dims your light a little. So if there's something in you, if there's that little fire inside of you that says, I have something more that I want to offer, because it's okay to want more. It's okay to want to give to the people around you the gift that you have of knowledge, or an amazing product or service or offer, or whatever that is. It's so okay to want to share that. And it's okay to want to be successful, to contribute to your family or to contribute to your household, even if you don't have a family yet. All of it's okay. So I give you permission to take those first steps, because those are the most important steps to take. You have to take the first steps. So I'm going to cheers with a little coffee. If you're interested, I want to invite you to hop on over to the show notes, click the link, take a look at all the amazing things that are included, and fill out the application. It's completely free to apply. I just wanted to take a second and thank all of you guys for taking the time to listen to why I feel like starting out is such a huge deal, and why I feel like something like a mastermind could be so beneficial. I felt like it was such a huge benefit to me when I was starting out, and even now that I'm becoming more and more established in my business, I just truly enjoy the entire experience. So feel free to, if you'd like to get a shout out on the Moms Making Money show, go ahead and make sure you've clicked subscribe. That's huge for all of us who are recording podcasts for you. Also, if you'd like to leave a review of your experience on this show or what you think about it, and I will give you guys a shout out. You have a chance to have it read for everybody to hear, and get some love and recognition right here on the Moms Making Money show. Thanks, everybody. I will talk to you guys next time. Have a great day.